Hi guys, I'm Bunny. In my last video, I drew My Little Pony characters as different alternative styles, but in that video, I only drew Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, and Twilight. So in this video, I'm gonna draw the rest of the main 6. If you haven't seen part 1 already, I recommend also checking it out. Like in the first part, I again want to give a little disclaimer that I do not know everything about these styles, so I'm so sorry if I get anything wrong about them. I tried my best doing research, but feel free to correct any wrong information I give in this video, or if I could have changed something about the designs to suit the styles better. For the first character, I chose Rarity. I knew right away that the style I was going to give her was going to start some arguments, since over on my TikTok comments, people were already arguing about it before I even posted the design. But despite that, I wanted to draw Rarity as Gyaro. Gyaro is a fashion style that originated from Japan during the 1970s to rebel against the traditional Asian beauty standards, but it peaked in popularity during the 1990s and 2000s. The term gyaro is derived from the Japanese spelling of the word gyao. The fashion is usually characterized by voluminous light-colored hair, highly decorated nails, dramatic makeup that is intended to make the eyes appear bigger, but the clothing depends a lot on the substyle of gyaro. Agejo is a substyle of gyaro started by Kokuma Ageha, and the substyle is often worn by hostesses, but it's not limited to just them. Because of the origin of this style, it is not really recommended for minors to wear it. The substyle is characterized by hair that is some form of fujimori, and hair with curled ends or waves is also common. In the makeup, pink rosy blush is common. Both top and bottom fake lashes, eye drops are usually small, highlights under the eyes, eyebrows are usually light and soft. Often seen color combinations are black, pink, and gold. Lingerie-inspired aspects such as showing fancy bras, garter stockings, or corsets are also a big part of the style. Common accessories in the style are bows, pearls, and lace. Agejo is a very flexible style though, since everything in the Ageha magazine counts as Agejo. I agree with a lot of people in my comments that mentality-wise, Rarity probably wouldn't be gyaro. But with these videos, I'm more just going off what I think fits the character appearance-wise, and I thought that Rarity would look so pretty as Agejo gyaro, and a lot of her design aspect would suit the style. I feel like Rarity's main texture was perfect for a gyaro hairstyle. In her shape language, I tried to keep it really triangular and added small crystals all throughout her design to match her cutie mark. I had a pretty clear vision in my head of how I wanted her to look, so it was quite fast to figure out her outfit. I gave her a dress with a big bow and a lot of layers, lace tie-high socks, and high heel slippers. I added pearls, lace, ruffles, and other accessories to try to make read more clearly as Agejo gyaro, and try my best to make sure her makeup suit the style, since I think that is quite an important part of gyaro. Since Rarity's color palette isn't really most usual for Agejo gyaro, I added some black to it to make it suit a bit better. Other than that, I pretty much kept her original colors. I really wanted to make her look super sparkly and confident, and I think that I managed to do that pretty good. To be honest, drawing all the drill curls in Rarity's hair was probably the most fun I've ever had drawing hair, even though it was quite a lot of work. Overall, I had so much fun drawing this since Agejo gyaro is such a pretty style, and I'm also really happy with how the finished design turned out. I hope you also like her, and if there's any gals watching this, I would really appreciate if you let me know if I did the style justice. Here's the finished Agejo gyaro Rarity design. I just quickly want to thank you all so much for the support in my last video. Since part 1 to this video did so well, I now have super thanks available for my videos. So if you want to support me a little bit more, you can leave me a super thank you and I will read it out loud in my next video. But of course, don't do it if you're not able to. You can also support me just by liking the video, subscribing to my channel, or leaving a comment, and that means the world to me. If this video does as well, I should be able to get fully monetized. And that would also mean I would be able to make more videos for you all. But back to the topic of the video before I bore you all to death. Next one is gonna be Applejack. For her, I was kinda struggling to pick a style. I thought about punk and grunge, but I decided on metalhead. I know, metalhead isn't necessarily a fashion style, but it just means a person who listens to metal music, but I don't know. I don't have a good explanation for why I choose metalhead, but it's fine, I think. Anyway, as I already said, metalheads are people who listen to metal music. Even though being a metalhead isn't really fashion-based, There are some stylistic choices that are common, such as long hair, dark makeup, band shirts, jeans, boots, leather, black or dark clothing, a chain, bullet, spike, and stud accessories. And that's probably already it. I don't know what else to tell about metalheads. To be honest, now thinking about it, making Applejack a metalhead doesn't really make that much sense, since Fluttershy is actually canonly a metalhead. Well, it's too late now. When designing Applejack's outfit, I wanted to keep in mind that she lives and works on a farm, so I kept her outfit pretty simple. I decided to keep her a t-shirt, denim jeans, and boots. I just gave her some accessories and tattoos to make her read more clearly as a metalhead. I added some bracelets, piercings, a choker, chains, and studs to her hat. Since I didn't want to give her a t-shirt of an actual band that exists in the real world, I just put a text with her name there and an apple that has been eaten and just tried to make it look cool or something, I don't know. I wasn't really sure what tattoos to give her, so I gave her one of her cutie mark, and the rest of it I took inspiration from patterns in the buildings and Sweet Apple Acres. I gave her keys that are attached to the chain in her waist, and a rack/scarf in her arm that could be used in the farm or something. I really do not know. Also, since I made the scarf green and the shirt red, it kind of resembles an apple. Even though AJ has just slightly wavy hair in My Little Pony, I thought that making it more wavy will look cute, and I kind of gave her a wolf cut-ish hairstyle. But again, what do you all think about how she turned out? It's kind of hard to judge if I got the style right, since there's not really clear rules to it, like usual. I mean, even I'm a metalhead, but I do not dress like this, but I'm mostly dressed in Yami Kawaii and Jedi K. But you can tell me in the comments what would you have changed about her, or should I have done a completely different style for her. Here's the finished metalhead Applejack design. Finally, time for the last character of the main 6, Fluttershy. I could have picked metalhead for her since that would be half canon, but since I already made AJ a metalhead, I wanted to pick something else. I decided that goth would suit her really well, but I wanted to more specifically make her a vampire goth because of Flutterbat. Goth is a music and politics-based subculture that emerged in the late 1970s in the UK. The subculture developed around gothic rock that evolved from the post-punk scene. The fashion subculture takes inspiration from a lot of sources, such as 19th century Gothic literature, horror films, historical fashion from the Victorian and Edwardian eras. There are a lot of substyles of goth, but the common thread is a dark color palette. The fashion is deeply rooted in DIY that is inherited from its punk roots. Vampires have been a big part of goth subculture, but vampire goth takes that a bit further by often adding fangs and more other vampire-like aspects to the style. The style includes a lot of lacy fabrics, satin, and flowy dresses. Besides the vampire theme fitting Flutterbat well, I think being goth would just suit Fluttershy really well, since she would probably care a lot about how her clothes are made, and she would probably DIY a lot of them. I decided to give her a dress with a lot of ruffles, a corset, and flowy sleeves. I really wanted to make sure that the bat and vampire motif was clear in her design, so I made all the bows in her design bat themed and tried to make the top layer of her skirt look like bat wings. I decided to just leave her hair open and made it look a bit messy and heavily layered. Instead of giving her actual fangs, I gave her angel fang piercings. I also gave her ear piercings, inspired by Fluttershy's goth outfit in the Fake It Till You Make It episode in Season 8, and also gave her triple helix piercings. I definitely didn't give that and the angel fangs to her just because I really fucking want those piercings really bad. Definitely not. Since I wanted to include all their cutie marks in their designs, I gave her stockings that have patterns of it, and also added her cutie mark on the cane I gave her, cause why not. Her color palette was a bit hard to make gothic, so I tried adding pink tints to her clothing, added pink to her accessories, and also gave her stockings and sleeves that kind of have a yellowish tint to them. I'm also really happy with how she turned out, but again, if there are any goths watching there, please let me know how I did. Finally, the finished last design. Thank you so much for watching the video this far, and I would just quickly like to apologize for basically disappearing from social media for over a month and not replying to comments. I started school a couple months ago, and I have been a bit busy with that and other stuff in my life, plus I have been kind of struggling with my mental health again, but enough about that. I will try my best to get back into posting full-length videos at least almost monthly, and shorts at least a couple days a week. We are getting so close to 10k, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. But if you're new here, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe so we could reach that goal faster. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a nice day, or whatever time you're watching this at.